Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this cute little card that I made using the Little Ladybug stamp set. You can get this stamp set for free when you host a qualifying party or place a qualifying order, and you're going to love the dies that coordinate with this that are being released in February. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, I am going to start with my stamping. I am going to ink up my little ladybug here. That is the focal point on my card using the Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I've got him ready. So I am going to color him. And I am going to be using my blends for this because I love the bold, rich color we get from them. And I am going to use the fine tip end for this project since it's got some close spots, and I'm starting with my Poppy Parade. And of course, you know, if you make some oopses, the color lifter is perfect for pushing that color back into the lines. So I'm quickly going to color his shell here. And then I'm going to bring in the dark So Saffron, and I am simply going to color a couple of his bands here on his body. And I'm going to use the light for the other two bands, filling in. It gives it a little depth. And his little face here. And then I'm going to bring in my dark smoky slate, and I am going to color the little portion of his body here. And I'm also going to fill in the spots so that they don't have the white area, and also along his head and along his face. And then I'm going to bring the light back, and I'm going to use the fine tip for this, and I am simply going to color his little hands and feet. And that's all that's to it, and then I'm ready to cut him out with my layering circles die. The next stamping I'm going to do is on the card front. It is for this Whisper White piece of paper, and because I've got these circles here laid on the card front, I want to kind of give myself a location of where I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to set these down. I'm not going to adhere them yet because I want to have the flexibility of changing out my paper or flipping it over if I make an oops. So I'm going to start with my sentiment here. I'm going to put "You're So Sweet" up here in the top left corner. And then, believe it or not, I took my little ladybugs and I cut this apart. Now I can put this together simply by piecing it as a puzzle where the rubber goes, since I simply snipped it. But I wanted to use this so that I could separate my little guys without having to mask or do anything that takes more time. Let's see, I'm going to use this little ladybug here, and then I want to add some ladybugs under this scallop, this starburst shape, and so I'm going to ink these little guys up, and one in the middle here, so they kind of move around that starburst. And at this point I can remove those pieces, and I am ready to color. So I am simply going to take my dark So Saffron here and do their tummies and faces. And then I am going to use the dark. I just realized I forgot this guy's face, so I'll come back and do that quickly after I finish doing the Poppy Parade on the rest of these. Don't you love just how quick these blends are to use? And you don't have to be an artist because they're so simple. Okay, now that I've got that done, I'm going to start building my card front. I'm going to bring in my So Saffron base, and I am going to use my bone folder on the score line there. And then I'm going to bring in this piece of Poppy Parade. Now I've actually taken the Poppy Parade and taken my starburst punch and punched out of the center of it. We're not going to see this layer, so that's perfectly fine. and it's a great way to utilize your cardstock. Now that I've got that done, I am going to move that to the side, and I'm going to start adhering those circles. I'm going to decide where I want them, and I'm simply going to place them on my cardstock. There we go, there's the little guy. And I am going to adhere them down. Now, I did not adhere down this large piece of Whisper White that has my sentiment on it yet, because I want to be able to take these circles that hang over the edge and trim them off. There we go. Now I am ready to add this to my card front. And as you can see, the blends do go through the back of your Whisper White, and that's okay. They're designed to do that. You just want to plan your project so that you won't see that. Okay, and now for this lovely Poppy Parade Starburst. I'm going to set that right there, and I am going to add my layering circle with the So Saffron in the center. And then for my little guy that I cut out, I am going to flip this over. And oops, I've only got these minis right at the moment, but you could use Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to add 4 to the back. And then I'm going to take off the protective paper. There we go. And I'm ready to add my little guy to the card front. That's it. It's that quick and easy. I love this little ladybug set. So let me bring in the original again. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. And of course, if you don't already have a January-June 2020 mini catalog or the Sale-a-bration brochure, email me your name, address, and phone number, and I'll be happy to mail you one. Thanks for joining me.